She told me her new grandma was classy, an elegant woman who swept into our lives like a breath of fresh air. But as the weeks went by, I started to sense something wasn't right. Before I reveal the shocking truth I uncovered, comment below if you've ever had a gut feeling about someone, and follow if you believe in trusting your instincts. Hello my beautiful souls. Welcome back to Her True Stories. I'm your host, and today Claire Thompson is here to share a story that unsettled her world and tested the very core of her trust as a mother. If you're new here, we share real stories from women who navigate betrayal, deception, and heartbreak but find strength in the process. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of these powerful journeys. My name is Claire Thompson, and I want to tell you about the uneasy feeling that started to grow inside me one quiet evening when my daughter Lily first mentioned her new grandmother. It was during one of our usual Sunday dinners, the kind where the chatter flows easily, and the warmth of family fills the room like a gentle blanket. Lily, who's just turned 8, was unusually bright-eyed, bubbling with excitement about someone new in her life. That night, as I cleared the plates and poured us each a glass of lemonade, Lily couldn't stop talking about her classy new grandma. She described her with such admiration, her elegance, her soft voice, the beautiful clothes she wore. "Mom," Lily said with wide eyes, "she's so fancy and nice. You'd love her." I smiled at her enthusiasm, but deep inside, a flicker of unease crept in. You see, I had never met this woman. My ex-husband, Mark, had remarried after our divorce 2 years ago, and while he told me about his new wife, I hadn't had the chance, or frankly, the desire, to meet her. Mark always painted a perfect picture. The woman was accomplished, kind, and someone who'd be a great role model for Lily. But something about the way Lily gushed felt different, almost rehearsed, as if she had been carefully coached to say these things. As Lily chattered on about planned outings and the lovely tea parties she attended, I caught myself glancing at the clock, my mind racing. I remembered the countless times Mark's perfect stories had glossed over inconvenient truths during our marriage. My protective instincts, sharpened by years of guarding Lily through the chaos of a messy divorce, kicked in. I couldn't just take this at face value. Later that night, after tucking Lily into bed and hearing her mumble the name of this new grandmother with a smile on her face, I sat alone in the quiet of my living room. The house was still except for the soft hum of the night outside. I let my thoughts wander, recalling snippets of conversations with Mark, the fleeting mentions of his wife, and the little inconsistencies that had never quite added up. You see, my relationship with Lily is everything to me. From the moment she was born, I promised myself I would shield her from pain and deception. Protecting her from the fallout of my failed marriage was a full-time job, and the arrival of this new grandmother felt like a fresh storm on the horizon. I didn't want to be the bitter ex, but I knew I couldn't silence my doubts. The next day, during my usual morning coffee, I found myself scrolling through social media, hoping to find any clue about this woman who had so captivated my daughter's heart. Mark's profile was sparse about his personal life, but sometimes the smallest posts or tagged photos could reveal more than words ever could. I searched her name, carefully, quietly, hoping to piece together a picture of the woman Lily called classy. What I found was puzzling. There were glamorous photos, yes, but something felt off. The pictures seemed curated to project a perfect image, yet there were gaps, missing details, and a few comments from people I didn't recognize that hinted at a different story beneath the surface. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but my gut told me there was more here than met the eye. That evening, I decided to talk to Lily again, gently this time. "Sweetheart," I said as we sat on her bed, "can you tell me more about your grandma? What do you like most about her?" Lily's face lit up, but I noticed the way she hesitated before answering, as if weighing her words. "She's so nice, Mom. She always says I'm special. She takes me to the park and buys me treats. And she's really good at telling stories." Her voice was soft and sincere, but I caught a flicker of something else, maybe a hint of nervousness, or a fear of disappointing me. I hugged her tightly. "That sounds wonderful, Lily. I'm glad you have someone like that in your life." But inside, I knew I had to keep digging. Protecting her from disappointment, or worse, was my responsibility. Over the next few days, I kept my eyes open, paying close attention to any mentions of this new grandmother in Lily's conversations and Mark's occasional messages. I even reached out to a few mutual acquaintances, under the guise of casual chats, to see if I could learn more without raising alarms. During one such call, a friend of Mark's mentioned hearing about some financial troubles surrounding the new wife. It was vague, but enough to set off alarm bells in my mind. I remembered the college fund I had set up for Lily, a nest egg to give her a head start in life. The thought that this woman might have access to it, or worse, be involved in something shady, terrified me. My training as a financial analyst gave me the tools to dig deeper without tipping anyone off. I began reviewing public records, searching for any signs of trouble, liens, lawsuits, unusual transactions. It was meticulous work, and I had to be careful not to let my anxiety leak into Lily's world. But that Sunday dinner, with Lily's glowing praise of a woman I barely knew, marked the beginning of a journey I wasn't prepared for. It was the moment I realized that sometimes, the people who seem the most perfect on the surface can hide the darkest secrets underneath. So here I am, balancing love and suspicion, trying to protect my daughter from a threat she doesn't yet understand. And I want to share this story with you because I know many of you have faced similar moments, when trust is tested, and you have to decide whether to face the truth or turn away. Thank you for joining us for this first glimpse into my story. If Claire's journey resonates with you, please hit that like button and share this video. Stay with us as we unravel the truth behind the woman Lily calls classy and the secrets that could change everything. Until next time, keep trusting your intuition and standing strong for those you love. Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to Her True Stories. I'm your host, and today Claire Thompson continues sharing her journey, a story that began with a mother's protective instincts and has now led her deep into a web of suspicion and hidden truths. If you're new here, we share real stories from women who face betrayal and heartbreak but find the strength to fight back. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any part of this gripping saga. My name is Claire Thompson, and after that unsettling Sunday dinner where Lily praised her new grandmother, I knew I had to dig deeper. That initial feeling of unease didn't leave me, it grew stronger, gnawing at my peace of mind. I realized that this wasn't just about a new person in Lily's life. It was about protecting my daughter's future, and I had to act carefully and strategically. I started quietly investigating the woman behind the classy facade. Using my background in finance, I knew where to look, and I began with public records, things anyone could access but few would think to check thoroughly. The first red flags appeared rather quickly. There were troubling financial discrepancies tied to her name that didn't add up. I found reports of unpaid debts and suspicious transactions, hints of money moving through accounts without clear explanations. This woman was involved in more than just the usual ups and downs. There were whispers of scams and manipulations, activities that could jeopardize not only her own standing but, more importantly, anything connected to my daughter. What hit me hardest was the trail leading to a missing college fund, a trusted account that was supposed to be set aside for Lily's education. I remembered setting it up years ago, watching over it carefully, and the thought that this woman might have had access to it sent a chill down my spine. How could someone who was supposed to be a positive influence be involved in something so damaging? Every discovery made me more determined. I connected the dots, tracing the flow of money and uncovering layers of deceit. It wasn't just about missing funds, there were signs of manipulation, forged documents, and false promises that had hurt others in ways I couldn't ignore. The more I uncovered, the clearer it became that this woman's charm was a carefully constructed mask. I had to be discreet. I didn't want to alarm Lily or cause unnecessary drama with Mark, but I also couldn't ignore the danger. I reached out to trusted contacts in the financial world, people who could help me verify what I'd found without raising suspicion. Their insights confirmed my worst fears. This woman had a history of exploiting trust for personal gain. With every piece of evidence, my resolve grew. I started keeping detailed notes, compiling records, and organizing everything carefully. It felt like assembling a puzzle where the picture was ugly and painful, but necessary to see. I wanted to be ready for whatever steps I would need to take next, to ensure Lily's safety and secure her future. The pacing of this investigation slowed down as I became more methodical. I couldn't rush, one wrong move and I risked exposing my intentions or giving the woman a chance to cover her tracks. I balanced patience with persistence, knowing that uncovering the truth would take time. During this phase, I also observed the subtle changes in Lily. She still spoke fondly of her grandmother, but occasionally, I caught glimpses of confusion or hesitation when she was asked about specifics. It was as if Lily sensed something was off but didn't have the words to explain it. Protecting her innocence while preparing for the inevitable confrontation was a delicate dance. I made sure to keep our home a safe space, full of love and normalcy, while I worked behind the scenes. Every night, after Lily was asleep, I pored over bank statements, legal documents, and online records. I cross-referenced details, looked for inconsistencies, and slowly built a case that could stand on its own. One evening, I uncovered a critical piece, evidence that the college fund had been accessed without my consent. The transactions were disguised with vague descriptions, but my knowledge of financial systems helped me identify the trail. It was a gut punch, a betrayal not just of me but of everything I'd worked for to secure Lily's future. I shared this with a close friend who's a private investigator. Together, we planned how to proceed carefully. I learned that the new grandmother had a pattern of scamming others and had left a trail of broken promises and financial ruin. The realization that my daughter's classy new grandma was involved in such schemes was heartbreaking but fueled my determination even more. Every discovery was a reminder that appearances can be deceiving. The woman who charmed Lily and painted herself as a caring figure was hiding a darker truth, one that threatened the very foundation of my family's security. I knew I had to keep my emotions in check and continue the investigation with clear eyes and a steady heart. This quiet, strategic approach was essential. I couldn't let anyone know what I was uncovering, especially not Mark or the grandmother herself. I needed to gather enough undeniable proof before confronting anyone, to protect Lily and myself from any backlash. Throughout this process, my love for Lily was my anchor. I reminded myself daily that this was about her safety and future happiness. The sacrifices I'd made in the past, the battles I'd fought during the divorce, they all prepared me for this moment. I was ready to face whatever came next, armed with knowledge and a mother's fierce protectiveness. Thank you for staying with us as Claire's story unfolds. If you're moved by her courage and determination, please like this video and share it with others who might need to hear this. In our next chapter, we'll see how Claire begins to turn the tables and execute a plan to reveal the truth. Until then, keep trusting your instincts and standing strong for those you love. Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to Her True Stories. I'm your host, and today Claire Thompson continues her journey, a story of courage, cunning, and a mother's unwavering resolve. If you're new here, we share real stories of women who have faced betrayal and heartbreak but rise stronger. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a moment of Claire's powerful journey. My name is Claire Thompson, and after uncovering the troubling financial discrepancies and a hidden past filled with manipulation, I knew I couldn't just sit back and wait. I had to act, but carefully. This was no simple matter of confrontation. I was up against a woman who had built a web of deception, and I needed a plan that was subtle, strategic, and foolproof. The first thing I understood was that direct confrontation would be risky. The new grandmother was confident, even overconfident, in her position. She believed her charm and facade would protect her. So, I decided to use that very confidence against her, setting traps that would reveal her true nature without alerting her to my suspicions. I began by crafting scenarios where she would feel comfortable and in control. I reached out under a carefully constructed guise, someone interested in her wellness coaching business, which I had discovered during my research. This fake identity allowed me to engage with her professionally, giving me a reason to interact and observe without raising suspicion. Through these coaching sessions, I learned much more than I expected. Her professionalism was a mask, beneath it was a woman quick to gossip, careless with sensitive information, and eager to manipulate situations for her benefit. She made derogatory comments about clients and boasted about bending rules to secure financial gain. Every word she spoke was a thread in the tapestry of deceit I was unraveling. I documented everything meticulously: recordings, screenshots, detailed notes. This evidence was crucial. It wasn't just enough to suspect her, I needed proof that would stand up in any legal or personal battle ahead. Meanwhile, I subtly encouraged her greed and overconfidence. I hinted at potential business opportunities, making her believe she was on the brink of significant expansion. This led her to reveal more about her financial vulnerabilities and risky practices. She was eager to impress, and that eagerness became her undoing. As I gathered more information, I began to build alliances quietly. I reached out to a few former clients and acquaintances I had identified during my investigation. Some had been hurt by her schemes, others were simply wary but lacked the evidence to speak up. Together, we created a network of support that would be invaluable when the time came to expose the truth. Throughout this period, I maintained a calm exterior, especially around Lily and Mark. My primary goal was to protect my daughter's innocence and avoid unnecessary family drama until I was ready. But inside, the tension was mounting. Every interaction with the grandmother was a calculated move on a chessboard, each step bringing me closer to checkmate. One particularly telling moment came during a coaching session when she casually mentioned manipulating legal documents to cover her tracks. I recorded the conversation discreetly, knowing this could be a smoking gun. Her arrogance blinded her to the danger she was in. I also kept a close eye on Lily, watching how this woman's influence was shaping her. There were moments when Lily's enthusiasm felt forced, as if she was trying to live up to expectations set by someone else. I knew that exposing the grandmother's deceit was not just about money, it was about reclaiming my daughter's happiness and trust. As my plan unfolded, I prepared for the moment I would confront Mark. I needed to present him with undeniable proof, to break through the illusions he had about his new wife. But timing was everything. I wanted to ensure that when the truth came out, there would be no room for denial or damage control. This whole process required patience and resilience. There were times I felt overwhelmed, doubted myself, or questioned whether I was doing the right thing. But my love for Lily was my guide. I reminded myself that protecting her from harm meant facing uncomfortable truths and standing firm no matter the cost. I won't lie, the secrecy was exhausting. Juggling the roles of mother, investigator, and strategist took every ounce of strength I had. But every day I grew more certain that this was the path I had to take. Thank you for staying with us as Claire's story continues to unfold. If her strength and strategy inspire you, please like and share this video. In our next chapter, we'll witness the unraveling of the grandmother's carefully constructed life and the impact it has on Claire's family. Until then, remember, cleverness and calm resolve can be your greatest weapons in the face of betrayal. Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to Her True Stories. I'm your host, and today Claire Thompson shares the pivotal chapter in her journey, a story of justice served through patience and quiet strength. If you're new here, we share real stories from women who have faced betrayal and heartbreak but emerged stronger. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single moment of Claire's incredible story. My name is Claire Thompson, and after months of careful investigation and strategic planning, the moment had finally come to expose the truth about the woman Lily called Classy. The grandmother's carefully woven facade was beginning to unravel, and I was ready to reveal the web of deceit she had spun around my family. With the evidence I had gathered, from financial records to recorded conversations and testimonies from those she had wronged, I approached the authorities and legal professionals. It was crucial to take this step to ensure that justice would be served and that my daughter's stolen college fund would be recovered. Simultaneously, I arranged a discreet meeting with Mark. I knew this confrontation would be difficult. After all, he had been blinded by the woman's charm and had believed in the perfect image she projected. But armed with irrefutable proof, I was prepared to shatter that illusion. When I presented the evidence, Mark's reaction was a mix of shock, denial, and eventually, reluctant acceptance. It was painful to see him grapple with the betrayal, but it was necessary for him to understand the reality of the situation. This wasn't just a matter of broken trust, it was a matter of protecting our daughter's future. As legal proceedings commenced, the grandmother's world began to collapse. Investigations uncovered her fraudulent activities, including the theft of the college fund and multiple scams that left a trail of financial destruction. The authorities moved swiftly, and the grandmother faced mounting legal consequences that would dismantle her reputation and her business. Within the family, the fallout was profound. Lily struggled to reconcile the grandmother she had admired with the woman who had betrayed them all. It was a painful reckoning, but it also brought Lily and me closer. Together, we navigated the emotional turbulence, finding strength in honesty and the rebuilding of trust. Mark, too, underwent his own transformation. The painful truth forced him to confront his misplaced trust and the consequences of ignoring warning signs. While the damage was deep, it opened the door for him to rebuild his relationships on a foundation of truth and accountability. Throughout this ordeal, I remained a pillar of calm and resilience. I had planned this carefully, balancing the need for justice with the protection of my daughter's innocence. It was a delicate path, but one that ultimately led to healing and renewal. The grandmother's downfall was not just a personal victory, it was a testament to the power of patience, strategic thinking, and unwavering love. I had shown that quiet strength and determination could triumph over deception and greed. Thank you for standing with us through this critical chapter of Claire's story. If her strength and perseverance inspire you, please like and share this video. Stay tuned for the final chapter, where Claire reflects on the lessons learned and the path forward. Until then, remember, justice may take time, but with patience and courage, it will come. Hello beautiful souls. Welcome back to Her True Stories. I'm your host, and today Claire Thompson shares the final chapter of a journey marked by betrayal, resilience, and quiet victory. If you're new here, we tell real stories from women who have faced heartbreak but emerged stronger. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that could change your life. My name is Claire Thompson, and as I sit here reflecting on everything that has happened, I am filled with a mixture of relief, pride, and gratitude. The ordeal with the woman Lily once called classy has forever altered our lives, but it has also taught us invaluable lessons about trust, vigilance, and the strength that lies within a mother's love. Looking back, I realize how easy it is to be deceived by appearances. Lily's new grandmother seemed perfect on the surface, polished, kind, and attentive. But perfection, I learned, is often a mask that hides darker truths. It was a painful lesson for all of us, especially for Lily, who had to come to terms with the fact that not everything, or everyone, is as they seem. Yet, through that pain, Lily grew wiser. She learned that love and care are not about fancy clothes or grand gestures but about authenticity and truth. Watching her navigate this emotional reckoning reminded me why I fought so fiercely to protect her. She needed to understand that strength comes not from ignoring reality but from facing it head-on. For me, this journey reaffirmed the power of quiet strength and perseverance. I had to balance so many roles: mother, investigator, strategist, and it was not easy. But every sacrifice, every sleepless night spent gathering evidence, was worth it to secure Lily's future and restore our family's peace. I am proud that we were able to recover the stolen college fund and ensure that justice was served. The grandmother's conviction was a clear message: deceit and manipulation have consequences. More importantly, it was a victory for Lily and for every parent fighting to protect their children from hidden threats. Our family is still healing, but there is hope. Mark has begun to rebuild his relationship with Lily on a foundation of honesty and accountability. And I have learned to trust my instincts more deeply, knowing that vigilance within family dynamics is not about suspicion but about safeguarding those we love. As I sit in my garden, watching Lily play under the warm sun, I feel a renewed sense of peace. We have weathered the storm and emerged stronger, bound by love and truth. This experience has changed us, but it has also made us unbreakable. Thank you for joining us for Claire's story on Her True Stories. If her journey touched your heart, please hit that like button and share this video with others who might find strength in her words. Remember, appearances can be deceiving, but true strength lies in standing firm for those you love and never giving up on the truth. Until next time, keep standing in your truth and believing in your power. If you loved the story, like the video and subscribe.